I had to finally address the whole M shit. I knew I had to finally address, like, you know, it's like if the Vietnam War happens, you gotta fucking acknowledge that it happened after it happens. Right. You can't just like proceed and be like, anyway, back to America.
I feel you. Yeah, that album is very personal.
Yeah.
That album is very, very personal.
But even that though, that turned out favorable for you though. Like I felt like most people, like just rap fans, like people who really cared about bars, like I thought, you know, niggas would never ever really see past the fact that you were going against like a heavyweight, someone's a legend.
Why does everyone think I went against him? There was 2 songs on that album that came out. He was the first person that ever said my name.
Well, it just felt like you got your flowers, I think is what he was saying.
Got it.
Yeah, like people actually said.
Yeah, they talked about your skill
did.
and your talent and how clever you were.
You feel me?
Did you feel that way or no?
What's the question?
That when that was happening, that you got your flowers, that people thought the response was amazing.
They gave you the win, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
You beat Eminem, and again, he'll always be legendary, but I felt you earned a stripe where like people who didn't think, and maybe they were just uninformed, they knew at that moment that you could compete toe-to-toe with even someone we considered a legend.
Yep.
And that's big.
Facts.
And you showed up.
Facts.
How did you feel about that? Because of course there was a lot of internet shit trying to muddy the waters. I seen it.
Yeah.
I seen the comment too.
Yeah. You know, the internet thing trying to muddy it, like, that was a little annoying because it was kind of like, we can't be a generation that rides like only because a person's a legend, you know, and strictly goes off that factor. Like, when we do something for our generation, like, step up and acknowledge what happened, hold it down. Like, that was not something I was expecting to ever happen, you know what I mean? And like, I said what I said, I don't give a fuck. You can't hold me. You know, and that should be the narrative for anyone in our generation. Like, you can't just hoe us because you're a legend. And like, that was weird. It was out of nowhere. It was weird. It was ill-timed. Mac's death had just happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was weird. Like, yeah.
In those moments that you're like either responding or you're even getting deep, like for example, Wayne was saying, or like you're responding to a legend, like how do you approach that situation? I want to know like your temperament and like, is like whatever, or you like really think about it or sit back and be like, damn, this is a moment.
I mean, I remember I was cool with, I remember I was listening to what he had said about me or whatever on the Kamikaze album, and I was like, oh, this is funny. And I remember he said like one line that specifically, I was like, all right, bet, I'm gonna dog this motherfucker. And I was like, hook the mic up, and we went in the locker room of a place that we were performing at, and I just did that on the spot. Hours after that shit released.
Hours?
Hours, dude. I was with Odell the night before celebrating his that $100 million contract thing. So I was like still just drunk, like still like, fuck this motherfucker, man. Load the Pro Tools up, and we looked the picture up and started riding this motherfucker. I'm like, bet, woo woo woo, and I did 3 verses, and I remember I had like, it's funny. I remember I called Corday on FaceTime. I played him first 3 verses. He was like, bro. Like, this M, man, you gotta go off. Like, I'm like, I just went off like 3. What are you talking about? He was like, man, you gotta like just finish him. You know what I'm saying? So I remember I put that 4th verse, and that fourth verse was the mean shit. Yeah.
Switch it back.